Hey, Dr. Dave here. Well, it's February, and we all know what February brings. It's that holiday that brings different feelings and emotions. Valentine's Day. Some people love this day, some people hate this day, some people don't even acknowledge this day or care about this day, and there can be varying degrees of emotions around it. So I thought I like to use Valentine's Day as a way to honor ourselves. Why can't we revisit the relationship and love for ourselves? We have probably heard the expression, uh, before anyone else can love us, we have to first love ourselves. So I thought I would take the word love and create four reminders for each of the letters in the word love. And the first one, well, the overview is going to be love yourself, own yourself, value yourself, and I couldn't figure out if I wanted to use enjoy or embrace yourself. So either one of those. But the first we want to look at is love yourself. Now, for whatever reason, we find it easier to love other people and things rather than ourselves. We can be awful to ourselves, can't we? Our inner critic can be pretty freaking harsh. But did you know that you could curtail this inner critic and actually let it criticize you different? Criticize you different. Well, how about stop the criticism and turn it into self-love compliments? That's right. We can calm that inner critic because that inner critic is actually us in our head, in our brain. And we can shift the conversation. That's right. We can actually compliment ourselves, right? So how do you love yourself? That's your homework assignment. Google it. Google, how do I start loving myself, and discover what it is that you believe in this life. What do you value? What are your values? What you like? It's called identity. Who are you inside this skin? And if you can't answer that question, then you can't move on from there. So in order to love ourselves, first we have to know who we are, what we believe, what we value, and what we like, right? So stop comparing yourselves to others and honestly identify what you like about yourself, what you love about yourself. What do you love about yourself? What are you good at? Right? Because being in love with ourselves provides us with self-confidence, self-worth. It generally helps us feel more positive. And you might also find it easier to fall in love once you have learned to love yourself. So the first one is to love yourself. And again, that's a homework assignment. That's a whole study of life within itself. Right? So that's something you start to work on. Remember, we're either evolving or dissolving with how our life is going. And we only evolve by how we learn. The things we learn, how we strengthen ourselves, who we surround ourselves with, the things we listen to. And the question is, how are you loving yourself? And if you're not loving yourself, it's time to figure out how to start doing so. The second one of the word love would be the own yourself. Right? So owning ourselves is one of the most important stages of personal development and self-actualization. We're born with different constellations of traits, characteristics, inclinations, family backgrounds, circumstances. And to own ourselves is really to accept ourselves fully, both our perfections and our imperfections, both our strengths and our weaknesses. All right, so be honest with yourself. We have to be honest with ourselves and embrace those perfections and imperfections because that's what makes us us. That's what makes you you. Remember, we are human. You are human. Accept that some people may not like you, and that's okay because it's impossible to please everybody. Right? Accept that some people might not like you. Stop being a people pleaser and embrace your authentic self. Own your mistakes, learn from them, forgive yourself, take responsibility for you and the things that we do, learn the lesson, and move on. It's time to own who we are, own ourselves. And again, that's a study within itself. Start to do the homework. How do I own myself? How do I own who I am and love who I am and embrace who I am? The third letter is V, value yourself. You are valuable. You have incredible value. Do you know how valuable you are? You matter. You matter. We all matter. And it's time for you or us to identify ourselves and know our self-worth. Again, stop comparing ourselves. We need to stop comparing ourselves to other people. Know our gifts and the joy that we can bring to others, because every one of us is unique. Every one of us has gifts. Every one of us has talents to share with people or this world. And they vary in what they are. So stop comparing yourself again to other people. That's going to be a recurring theme in this whole thing, because if we compare ourselves, we lose. We're not focusing on our wins, on who we are, our unique self, our authentic self. All right, so you are better than you are acting, thinking, and believing right now. You are better than that. And what's clouding that is the self-doubt and the self-sabotaging behaviors and the things we call the MFTPs, the things that have been put into our head as the mother, father, teacher, preachers, as to help you identify who you are. And some of those things may be good and some of those things may not be good. But it's time to know your value. Stop thinking about the crap that how you're not good enough. It's time to brush that off, brush that away, and know that you are great and you are better than you're acting, thinking, and believing right now. So don't settle for less than you're worth. If you know you're worth more, then go out and get it. Go out and prove it. Go out and accomplish it. Start appreciating what you have. Learn to say no, because saying yes to everything lowers our value. Stop feeling bad about saying no. Saying no is liberating. Sometimes it's taking you away from something else that you should be participating in, where you could be more impactful. So stop being a yes person. And one last example maybe in this would be to set boundaries and respect boundaries. As uncomfortable as it is, it's necessary to set boundaries, or people and things are going to rob us of our power and self-worth, and it's going to devalue who we are and what we contribute into this world. Know your value. So far we have love yourself, own yourself, value yourself, and now it's either going to be enjoy or embrace yourself. I couldn't really decide which word I wanted to use, but each one of those, again, is a lesson within itself. Do the homework on how are you going to enjoy yourself more? How are you going to embrace yourself more? Because we need to learn to enjoy ourselves more. We need to put something fun in our agenda, either weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, about self-loving, self-love. Just enjoying being you. Write yourself a love letter about what you love about yourself. Relax and listen to some music while taking a bath or drinking some hot tea or having a glass of wine, or maybe it's going to the movies by yourself, or maybe it's listening to a motivational, inspirational something or a talk, or even signing up for a self-empowerment class or personal development seminar to learn how to enjoy yourself more. But maybe it's reflecting on your accomplishments and revisiting your goals. Whatever it is, enjoy yourself more. I think we need to enjoy ourselves. We don't enjoy ourselves enough or at all. And ultimately fall back in love with ourselves. So, Of course, this is just a tip of an iceberg. I tried to share some ideas with you, some thoughts, just some reminders, but now it's up to you to love yourself again. Remember, Valentine's Day is not just about having, quote, a significant other. It could be loving yourself, because if we don't love ourselves, how are we going to love others? All right, so happy Valentine's Day to you. Now go out and love yourself more.